All right, everybody. Good morning to you all. Good morning. I know I am an hour late. Had some business I had to tend to this morning. I had to go renew my license. I tried to do it last month, but they said it was too soon. So I had to deal with that today. But good morning, you guys. Now, this morning, following this live, I am doing an uncensored live event on Patreon where we're going to talk about quite a few things. I mentioned yesterday one of the things that we are certainly going to talk about is what's happening in Minnesota. I have some new footage to show you all. So following this meeting, this live this morning, I will be doing that. Good morning to you, Kamoni. Good morning. Now I wanted to put this picture up so y'all could see. You know, I don't know if y'all saw the video of Trump throwing up his middle finger to the Ford employee who called him a PDF protector, and he got mad and he stuck that little tiny finger up. So when I saw this, I said, this is the perfect imaging this morning, right? Because, you know, MAGA's so excited that Trump stuck that little tiny finger up at that man, you know. And again, remember when Barack Obama was president and Barack wore a tan suit and conservatives crashed out and said it's unpresidential and this, that. Trump told an American, fuck you. He put his middle finger up and mouthed the words, fuck you. Conservatives say nothing. Don't say nothing. Because they never cared about, this is the thing, because like I heard a conversation this morning, and one of the political pundits was saying, what's happening in Minnesota is not America. And you know what I said? You a whole lie. What's happening in Minnesota is absolutely America. Yep, Dee Dee, it's racism. That's as American as apple fucking pie. So anybody who says that's not America, what's happening in Minnesota is America. America's always used its government to oppress people. It'll either oppress people of color, or it's going to oppress, and ain't no or, and it's going to oppress white people who also back people of color. If you support racism and white supremacy, the system will support you. But as soon as you speak out against racism, against white supremacy, oh, you're now a problem. Real talk. Daryl, but they want you to have anxiety. Don't have anxiety. Do something. Stay on the phones. Stay on the emails on your fucking elected officials. I'm telling you, Trump is doing all of this shit because Congress won't do their jobs. That's all. This could stop today if Congress did their job. Republicans have decided they don't work for you. They don't even work for the people that voted for them. Republicans work for Trump. They work for the little guy with the big waistline. Right? That's essentially what it is. But they don't work for you. Okay? I have to be crystal clear about this. They haven't worked for you in decades. They work for special interest groups. They work for lobbyists. They work for corporations. They don't work for you. You like that, Ned? I do too. So when I saw it, I said, oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Look at the little tiny finger. You could barely see it. That's why nobody was offended by the shit. It was like, was that a finger? I couldn't tell. It was very small. Chill. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But understand, what y'all see happening in America right now is as American as apple pie. The system is used to oppress who they see as enemies, and who they see as allies, the system is used to protect and lift them up on this pedestal. Yeah, apparently they suspended that employee. Because see, y'all don't understand. Let me explain this to you. Free speech is only for conservatives. You don't have a right to free speech. See, I don't think many people over the years, y'all kept hearing conservatives talk about what were the things that they would talk about? They would talk about the big state and the deep state and how the deep state is coming after you and how it's going to do this and it's going to do that. Let me tell you something. They are the deep state. The Republican Party created Department of Homeland Security. That is the largest government agency we have. So when your government expanded, conservatives did that after 9/11. And right now under the Trump administration, they're continuing to expand government to surveil you, to oppress you. Those are conservatives. This is why I always told y'all conservatives are liars. They're cosplayers. They're not patriots at all. They use that shit because their voters are dumb enough to fall for the shit. That's what it is. It's performance art. And MAGA, yep, they are the swamp. Exactly. So when Trump talked about draining the swamp, let me tell you what he was saying. Trump was saying when he said drain the swamp, he was saying get rid of all the safety rails so I can do whatever I want to do. That's what drain the swamp was. Get rid of the oversight. Get rid of the pushback. So this time, not only did they get rid of it, right? Not only did they get rid of it inside of his cabinet and inside of some of the places in the Republican Party, right? They got rid of it in government by firing hundreds of government employees. They have fired over 200,000 government employees. Why? No oversight. They don't want government employees to tell about what's happening. Just like a government employee leaked out all the identity and identifying information of all of the ICE officers. Why? That's malicious compliance. Yeah, I'm here doing this job. I'm not happy about what the fuck people are doing. So I'm using the power I do have to do something. And they released PII, personally identifiable information, on ICE officers. So that you know who these mass people are coming into your community, snatching you out your car, snatching you out your house. So I'm glad they did it. I'm glad. But that's why that happened. That's why that happened. Because it was all about, and it goes back to again, yep, they violate people's rights all day. Now they go home to their, but notice Trump is only doing it in blue states and cities. He's not doing it in red states. So any illegal immigrants in red states, oh, they have the right to still stay here even though they're not here legally. Because he don't want to upset Republicans. See, and they want to keep it in Republican circles as if everything is great. Nothing's going on. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. No, everything ain't fine. And that's one of the things we're going to go over this morning on Patreon. Because they're smashing folks' windows, snatching them out their car only because they don't like what you say. You have a right to say whatever you want. But Republican government, conservative-led government says you don't have a right to free speech. Even Trump told you that. Trump told you that. He said, I don't know about the Constitution. I don't know about that. They don't believe in the Constitution when it's about controlling your ass. They just use the Constitution to keep you in line. That's all. See, it's a twofold thing. They use it to keep you in line. But they also use it as a weapon. But listen, Americans say their time is coming, but I say it's not. I say Americans ain't gonna do shit. That's what I say. That's just me. My mindset is Americans aren't gonna do a damn thing. And why aren't they going to do anything? Because they don't want to lose their place in the hierarchy. So that's why I say Americans can say all day, oh, this is going to happen. Ain't none of that shit going to happen. Because at the end of it all, it actually requires Americans to do something. And Americans are waiting to be saved by somebody else. There is nobody, ain't no Avengers coming, no Captain America coming, no Iron Man, no none of that shit. You have to do something. Real talk. Because until you do something, nothing changes. Your government is not working because you ain't doing shit. Let you get angry. Let you do something with that anger. Watch they work. The only reason why Republicans helped vote on that House bill to extend subsidies was because you was angry and you was watching and you was being vocal. That's the only reason why. They would not have done it otherwise. So it still needs to pass the Senate. Y'all need to not let up off the gas so that those motherfuckers in the Senate also fall in line and pass it so that you can have your health care. But I'm telling you, as long as you sit on your ass and be real comfortable, nothing changes. Now, RFI Chai, you say, do you think elections will change anything? I'm in Texas. Yes, but not just elections. See, the problem is Americans vote for people and walk away. Y'all vote for people and then go do a new dance trend. You can't do that. You can't do that. Voting for your elected official is only one step in a sea of many steps to get real change and to have a country that reflects the values, characters, and morals that you expect. Voting is only one step. Yep, you must vote and stay engaged. Y'all don't stay engaged. Y'all vote and walk away. That's what happens. You go, I did my part. I got them in office, so they need to go do all that other stuff. That's genuinely what you do. And so nothing's going to change. Because as soon as you take your eye off the ball, guess what happens? Guess what happens? As soon as you take your eye off the ball, they do what they want to do. Because you ain't paying attention. You ain't applying pressure. You're not applying pressure. And until you supply that pressure, you're going to keep having a problem. And that's just what's real. You have got to apply pressure to these people if you want anything to change. Nothing changes, just voting. Voting is easy. That's the easiest part of the fucking process, to be honest, is the voting. And people don't even want to show up to do that part. Like what? They don't even want to do that part. Yep. Well, see, they don't have people protesting. That's the other part, William Barker. Because I've seen people say that. Oh, they paying people to be out there. If they were, my black ass would be taking money. If they don't pay nobody to march. You know who pays people to show up to events? Trump. That's who pays people. Them people that come to them fucking rallies and all that other shit, they're getting paid. That's why when Trump shows up, you see so many people leaving. Because they just got to stay there until Trump shows up. That's why they leave. Because they're being paid to make it seem like this is where they really want to be. No, they need money. They broke too. They're broke too. That's what y'all got to understand. A lot of this faking and this fronting this shit like they got it. I got it. No, you don't have it. Because if you had it, if it was all good, you would act like it was all good. But they don't. But they don't. I'm just trying to tell y'all, these people, they can never, ever, 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 ever be trusted. But you got to stay on their ass to get them to do what you want them to do. The problem that has happened in America is too many Americans took their eye off the fucking ball, because y'all think when you elect people, your job is done. Your job is done. It ain't done when you vote. You need to be like right now, I'm sitting on house.gov. Question for y'all. How many times a week do you guys visit house.gov, senate.gov? I'm just asking. I'm just wondering. Because I know if you never get your ass on there to see what they're doing, then it's really hard to complain once a month. No, you got to do more than that. Congress, because let me tell y'all something. If y'all went on house.gov and senate.gov every week, you would realize that Congress is they don't work more than they do work. You would realize that. You would realize that you're paying people and nothing changes, right? Nothing changes. Brooke, your chin and your jawline's too long. You look like you're probably trans woman. Been blocked. She talking too loud and she too sassy in my live. I don't know why she thought being black was protection. No, it's not. You had a strong jawline, beloved. It was giving holiday heart. And so I was like, gotta go. I done told y'all, I am not a nice person. I am not a nice person. So I saw her, because I saw her the first time, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna just let her ride it out, because she gonna talk herself into a corner and get blocked and booted. And bam, she did exactly what I expected. But y'all got to start going on house.gov. Go on senate.gov. Your tax dollars pay for this shit. And on those websites, they tell you what kind of hearings Congress is doing, what they're proposing, who's sponsoring things. They tell you all this stuff. See, what I'm finding with Americans is they want to be spoon-fed everything. Grow up. Real shit. Grow the fuck up, man. Now, I'm going to tell y'all why you got to pay attention to what Congress is doing. I'm going to remind y'all of something. Y'all remember during the election when a lot of those trifling ass men, because all men ain't trifling, but a certain segment of men was on the internet talking about, because Trump was making all these promises, right? That he was going to get rid of child support. Y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember that, right? And the guys were cheering. They were like, yeah, because now I can't be bogged down by taking care of pesky children I've created, right? Y'all remember that, right? Okay. Well, guess what Congress is working on today? I love how the Republicans are really good about fucking lying to people. And they just buy into this shit. They were celebrating. Well, guess what, Maribel? Okay, I'm going to connect all the dots for y'all, right? Y'all know how a lot of those men love to travel to other countries to find foreign women. Well, they won't be doing that shit no more, right? Because today, baby, Congress is talking about an amendment, right? An amendment, right, to the existing Ensuring Children Receive Support Act. That's the Child Support Act. And they're making changes to that act. Guess what they're doing? Man, passport bro's gonna be stuck here. They ain't gonna have no woman here, and their woman abroad, they ain't gonna be able to visit her. Because they ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. Because now, the amendment that they're working on is they're amending a section in the Social Security Act so that when HHS certifies a person has a child support arrearage exceeding $2,500, the State Department is required to revoke their passport. See, in the past, it used to say it could limit your passport, but they're getting rid of that language. They getting rid of that shit. They leaving it at revoke. Look at God. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all? I love this shit. See, they thought Trump just knew what to say to them. And they so fucking dumb. They bought into the shit. Yeah, your MAGA brother won't be going to Mexico no more. Arriba. Won't be going no more. And get this, they're also adding an exception to the bill. Guess what? Guess the exception. I love this shit. Oh, this is so much fun. Guess what the exception is that they're adding? The exception is, so because some guys going to try to leave and go to another country, right? But then they're going to try to come back later. Well, guess what government want to do? I love this shit. Guess what Republicans are doing? They're adding an exception. If a person is abroad and they need to return to the United States on an emergency basis, they may give them a temporary passport to return, but y'all already know what's going to happen. When they come here, they're going to lock their ass up. I am so happy for these men. They got what they wanted, right? Yeah. I love this shit. I love this shit, man. And they want to make this effective in this new amendment that they're proposing, because they're talking about it today in Congress today. They're talking about it in the House. They have a hearing it happened at 9:30 this morning. They may still be talking about it, but the hearing started at 9:30 this morning. Okay? Now, they want to make, if they pass this, they want to make it so that it becomes effective October 1st, 2026. I love this. I personally love this. I love this. I love this. And keep in mind, this is the other part. You're going to love this part. Say, for example, you owe a lot of child support and you need a passport to travel out of the country on an emergency basis. Say you got a family member live overseas and you want to go to the funeral. Guess what, y'all? The government is not going to allow them to go. They're not allowed to leave the country until they pay their child support. Oh, I'm so happy for them. They're trapped here until they pay their child support. I can see so many American men now that owe child support trying to hide in somebody's trunk. Hey, take me over the border. I'm going to be in your trunk. Just watch them speed bumps. I love this shit. I love this shit. I love it because they voted for it. I told y'all, pay attention to what your government is doing. Real talk. It's a lot of hearings in the House today. A lot. But if this amendment passes, people that they're in arrears with their child support, $2,500 or more, and they have a U.S. passport, or you're trying to gain any type of international travel ability, you will not be able to. No exceptions anymore. Zero. I love this shit. I love this shit. It's a beautiful thing. No, they don't want you to feel sorry for them, Pooh, because Congress is doing this. See, Trump is a distraction. So that when Congress passes this, you won't notice. Trust me, they don't feel sorry for them at all. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to connect some dots for you. Because you get enough in the arrears, you get locked up. You get locked up, you go into private prisons. Private prisons are owned by the same people that make donations to this guy. It's just a circle of life. That's all. It's just a circle of life. So I personally love this shit. So people whose jobs require international travel, they're going to have to quit them jobs, baby. Because they're not going to be able to go to work. Hey, oh, America will not let them leave because they're in arrears. Or as they say, I love this for them. Me too, John Luke. I love this for deadbeat dads. Because they are very loud. So I love this for them. I told you, they're now trying to ramp up enforcement. So that's one of the hearings that happened this morning. 9:30 this morning. You need to listen, I'm challenging each and every one of you. Set a goal for yourself. I will check house.gov and senate.gov at least twice a week. Bare minimum. If you do it more, that's great. But if you at least do twice a week, do a Monday and a Wednesday or Monday and a Thursday. You understand? But at least twice a week. And when you go on house.gov, when you go on senate.gov, I'm going to tell you what you look at. Look at the legislative activity, the committee schedules. They tend to have a calendar up. They have a calendar up there. And that calendar shows you by date what hearings they're going to have. It tends to link documents associated with said hearings, especially if it's going to lead to amendments that they end up voting for at some point. That's where you find out, that's where the gravy at. That's what you find out that they up to. And then if you're not sure what you're reading, feed it to ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, explain it to me like I'm in elementary school. I see Congress is doing this. This is the document. All you got to do is put the link in there. Here is the link to the document. Can you tell me what they're doing? Explain it to me like I'm 5. Boom. This ain't as hard as y'all think it is. It really isn't. But it requires you to be consistent. And this is why they stay wanting you to suffer all the time. Because if you're constantly suffering, right? If you're constantly suffering, you'll never keep up with what they're doing. That's the whole point. Yep, ignorance is bliss. That's what they want. That's why Americans be happy as hell. They be poor, but they be happy. And it's like, but you can't think that way. I'm going to tell you something else that's happening today. They don't have any documents linked, but today they're having a hearing. It starts at 10, started at 10 o'clock. It's called Between a Rock and a Hard Place, Protecting the American Stone Slab Industry from Lawfare. Now, on its surface, it sounds like just a nothingness. But when I read, they say it will examine the problem of and potential legislative solutions to abusive litigation arising out of unlawful practices of unscrupulous third parties against U.S. manufacturers and distributors of stone slab products, right? I'm going to tell you what it is. And then when I look to see the witnesses come from other companies that do stone slabs. So it's about stopping the competition. Because see, anything outside of America gonna be cheaper. And you won't buy American. You won't buy American, and they know it. So what they do, take away your options. So that you ain't got no choice. See, I'm old enough to remember when you couldn't just buy Chinese products from China. That wasn't just an option for the rest of us at one time. Now, if you traveled to China and brought some stuff back, or you had a family member that might send you something, that was how you got access. Outside of that, you had to buy all your shit from a supplier you could in America, and most of the time they were buying the shit from China anyway. But you couldn't go directly to China and buy the shit. But over the years, now we all have access to that Chinese market. We can buy the stuff ourselves. American companies don't like that because now you won't spend your money with American companies. Why? Because you don't want to waste money and pay more for shit than you need to. That's why. So when you won't fall in line and do what they want you to do, those same companies lobby your elected officials to restrict your options so that you are forced to only go through them. That's it. Forced. Get your ass on house.gov, like I said, at least twice a week. It's the only way for you to know what they're doing. They're having some hearing today at 10 o'clock. They say it's called the Implementation of the Compact of Free Association Amendments Act of 2024. I've got to dig into that because it's something to do with Native Americans, which means, and natural resources. And if you know if Republicans are doing it, it's a way, again, to give away more land that belongs to the natives so that corporations can have it and make money. That's why you need to pay attention to what the fuck your government is doing. So that you know when to call and stay on their ass and you know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, well in America we're not allowed to own anything, so they're always looking for that. And I'm looking at something else. They're also looking to do some more oversight to the Federal Communications Division. That's the FCC Commission. That's the FCC. Now, I'm going to tell you why I think they're doing that. Okay? Republicans don't give a fuck, but they do care about doing the very thing that Trump wants, shutting up dissenters. So how do you shut up dissenters? How do you shut them up? The FCC. You use the FCC to come down on them and keep them quiet. And that keeps the people in line. That keeps the people obedient, oppressed, and happy. That's what that does. Greenland ain't gonna become no state. I'm gonna tell you why Trump is tracing Greenland. It's only for one reason. To dissolve NATO for Vladimir Putin. That's it. It's only to dissolve NATO because that would essentially get rid of NATO. It would at least kick us out of it. It's all designed to do exactly what Vladimir Putin wanted. To get rid of NATO. So not only he can take over Ukraine and not worry about anybody stopping him, but it's also to take more land beyond Ukraine. To take Poland. Oh, he not done. He just gonna, and listen, and America wants to take land too. White supremacists are in the White House. They want to take land. I just saw something and it got my spidey senses tingling. Yeah, it got my spidey senses tingling. And I want to know why. I smell, you know how you smell something? You know how something don't pass the smell test? You're not quite sure what it is, but you're like, something about this seems a little shady. Just because of the title of it, I'm sensing shade. Hold on, I'm checking something because I want to tell y'all about something else I just caught. Checking out house.gov. This is why you need to get your ass on there. Your money pays for house.gov. So it's to your benefit to go on there and see what the hell your government is doing in your name with your money. No, Trump don't hate Russia and China. If Trump hated China, why does he get his merchandise made there? If Trump hated China, how come during Trump's first administration, Ivanka got all of those patents approved by the Chinese? Exactly. Trump loves Russia and he loves China. Specifically, he loves them because they get to rule over their people and nobody can do nothing about it. Trump loves a dictator. What y'all talking about? What y'all doing right? What y'all talking about? Oh, now I want to tell y'all something. Okay, I knew I was right. Something said that looks shady. You know how your spidey senses be tingling? I'm like, that's really odd. Why is that there? Okay, so I was checking because they're having a hearing at 2 o'clock this afternoon on these several bills about the subcommittee on federal lands are having these hearings. And one of the bills is called Stars Spangled Submit Act of 2025. And I was like, that's really odd. Why would you have a Summit Act? So let me go find out what that's about. Well, guess what it's about? See, this is where I say patriotism, it's all an act. It's a charade that Republicans do. Because they ain't protecting your free speech right now. But they worried about doing this stupid shit. So this particular act, instead of them worried about you keeping health care, having affordable housing, having better schools, no. Instead, this is going to make a change, right? Where they would create a special location-specific permitting rule for a U.S. flagpole at Kiev Peak Lookout Point in Unida National Forest. What? A flagpole with a flag on it. That's the priority for these people. And that it has to be put up in 180 fucking days if this bill passes. And then they want a 10-year permit for the flagpole. Those are their priorities. That's why I tell y'all to take your ass on house.gov. Because then you'll see these people are up there getting paid almost $200,000 a year to debate about flagpoles. You see? And I see you talking about Rolanda Watts will stop. No surprise. America, you've always lived in a police state, but now your new police is ICE. ICE doesn't just do immigration anymore. ICE also keeps you in check. You got to go to work early day. Have a great day, Maribel. I got to look at your other email today because I know you replied back to me so we can set up the, you're setting up the panel thing. I can't wait for that. But that's what your government is spending time on. And the whole goal of this, guess what? The goal is to keep a flagpole in the exact same spot for 10 years. That's what they're debating today. I told y'all they don't work. I told y'all. You need to fucking call these people today. Fuck a protest. You need to be calling and emailing. Why the fuck are you wasting my tax dollars talking about a bill for a 10-year fucking flagpole? There are much more important, pressing priority issues that y'all need to be working on. Why are you sponsoring such a fucking bill? But y'all don't do it. Because y'all don't go on house.gov. That's why I go, they don't take you seriously. Because I know if I was them, I wouldn't take you seriously. This is the type of shit that they call work. This is what they call work. This is what they call work. Because they're not there to work for you. And so I went to look up something because I wanted to know something, right? Because, see, I like to connect dots, right? So the person sponsoring this bill is this guy called Mike Kennedy. He's a representative out of Utah. He represents the 3rd district out of Utah. Right? And there's a reason why. Because, see, I want to dig into who he is. Because there's a reason why. Who is Because there's a reason why. Of course he is. So Mike Kennedy, he is a politician, of course, an attorney and a physician. He's been in Congress since 2013. And his highest priority is making sure a flagpole stays up for 10 years. That's his highest fucking priority. Is that. He's worried about a flagpole to be flown for 10 fucking years. That's why I'm telling y'all, get your ass on house.gov and senate.gov. Because these people pretend like they working. They not working. It's a lie. It's fraud. They're not working. They're not. Now I'm checking something else because I just caught something else. This is why. This is why I tell y'all, get your ass on these websites. The information is there. You pay for it. You pay for this shit. They really not hiding it from you. Only time, I'm going to tell you, they do hide sometimes. Sometimes they won't put up the thing so to let you read it because they don't want you to see it. They don't want you to see it. I'm just checking something. Now, something else they're doing a hearing on today is a bill called HR 926. This was something that was passed in 2023. It's called Supreme Court Ethics, Recusal, and Transparency Act of 2020. I'm sorry, it was introduced in 2023. Okay? And it's designed to focus on ethical standards and transparency for the U.S. Supreme Court and federal judges. You know, because people like Clarence Thomas be taking gifts, taking all types of shit, and he's shiesty, right? So it's supposed to give us more transparency into the court. So they're going to talk about that today. Of course, it wasn't passed yet because they're trying to increase transparency and judicial ethics. But me knowing what I know, it ain't going to pass under Republican rule because they don't believe in ethics, character, and morals. That doesn't happen. So that's not going to happen here either. Wow. This is why I tell y'all to go on these websites. And I'm trying to, I caught something else because I got a feeling that this ain't right. Look, I'm checking something else I'm catching. Okay, these fuckers are up to no good. I'm just reading something real quick. Okay, I was just checking something. I'm like, that got my spidey senses tingling. That got my spidey senses tingling. Then one more thing that's happening at 2:15 this afternoon, because I know I have quite a few veterans on here. They're talking VA stuff. They're talking your disability assistance and memorial affairs. That's what they're talking about this afternoon. That hearing is at 2:15. Yeah, that hearing's at 2:15. And I was trying to see, I just don't know. They don't let you see anything. They just say it's going to hold an oversight hearing on reevaluating the rating schedule. Catch it. Listen, veterans. You hear that? Today's hearing is about reevaluating the rating schedule. Examining VA's efforts to modernize disability benefits. There will be a live stream of that discussion. You can get to the live stream on house.gov. Watch the hearing. Because that's how you get to know and see what it is. What are y'all talking about in the comments? See, it's a problem in here. I'm just looking. I need to block somebody? Yeah, that's exactly what it is, J-Fig. Too many vets got 100% disability. They told your ass to get to work. Yup, you don't have a right. You don't have a right to disability. Not according to the government. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, you supposed to defend your mama. They literally want you to work till you die. Not only that, remember when Trump told you serving in the military, you were a sucker? Republicans agree. Because now they're trying to reevaluate whether or not you even qualify for disability. You ain't gonna get no more 30%, 50%. They trying to give you the bare fucking minimum and they want your ass to go to work. They're trying to give you the bare minimum and force your ass to work. After you've made the ultimate sacrifice, after your body probably all torn up. See, you got disability because of the job that you did as a person being in the armed forces, being in the military. Then when you come home, your government says, well, we're not going to pay for no disability. Instead, we're going to give that money to rich people. Child, y'all better wake up. Because when you're not paying attention, they're taking everything. This hearing is at 2:15 today. It's going to be live streamed. And it's also going to be available. You can watch it on house.gov. You know why they fight over your vets, Lynn? Because over the years, less and less members of Congress are actually former veterans. See, back in the day, most elected officials had served in the military. So they were inclined to protect veterans benefits. Why? Because they were already getting them anyway. So they really would protect them. Not now. Those people ain't serving now. They going to college. They're like Trump. They don't serve. They don't give a fuck about veterans. So they see all that money going to people that no longer are serving as wasteful spending. That's all it is. To them, it's wasteful spending. That's why they don't have no problem cutting your benefits. Get your ass on house.gov and senate.gov at least twice a week. That's why you need to do this. You see why I tell you need to do it? Because if you don't do it, you wouldn't even know. You know when you would find out? After it passes. See, these things haven't passed yet. They're just talking about them now. But when they go up for a vote, they need pressure so it don't pass. Otherwise, you know what you're going to hear? That's the law now. That's what you're going to hear. Now I'm checking something else because I see my spidey senses just be tingling. And I don't have no proof, but I'm about to see if I do right now. Hold on, I'm checking one more thing. I'm checking something because I want to see something. The title is throwing me off because, see, they always label things in a way that makes my spidey sense go, huh, that's really weird. I wouldn't say it like that. That means something else. That's why usually, and I'm gonna put this here as a reminder to y'all, ain't nobody coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save y'all. You gotta save yourself. Okay? Nobody's coming. Not one person is gonna come save you. I'm just looking at something. But nobody's coming, y'all. And the question becomes, what are you going to do about what they're doing? You got to do something. And Americans are sitting around, again, like I said, I feel like Americans still don't know. They still haven't made the connection about what's occurring. Wake up. See, mainstream media ain't gonna tell you about what they doing up there on the hill because they don't give a shit. Mainstream media wants to talk about the shit that's gonna keep your ass glued to the TV, and that's drama. Drama. They coming to get you. Now, I'm gonna tell you something else your government is doing because Trump is mad. Trump says that the administration will halt all federal funding to all sanctuary cities starting February 1st. That's why I said to y'all, don't really notice how it's the day after the end of January, because Trump is expecting the government to be shut down. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna fucking learn. They know what they doing. He knows what he's doing. All of this shit is planned and coordinated with him and the Republican Party. They pretend like, oh, we trying. No, they not. It's a performance. It's a performance. But if liberals don't match this fucking energy, hey man, nothing changes. Nothing changes. at all. Nothing. As we're wrapping up this morning, I'm going to tell y'all about something, a conversation I saw yesterday. And I'm going to give you something that you need to think about. Okay? How much money do you have saved up in case of an emergency? Like, what, 3 months, 6 months? Because I saw people having this conversation yesterday. If you had to say, in theory, right? Yeah, a lot of people have nothing. I've been burning through mine because I'm still waiting to get unemployment that I still don't have yet. I'm waiting. This is bullshit. Okay, you got about 6 months? Well, now they say you need at least a year or 2 years. Yeah, you need at least 2 years. In the American economy, you need at least 2 years of money in case something happens or you're fucked. And most Americans ain't got 2 years. Most Americans ain't got 2 months. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. Real talk. But y'all need to pay attention to that. America went from you only need 6 months of savings to now you need 2 years. At least. And remember, you can't even be homeless because homelessness is criminalized. In America, it is a crime to not have a home in America. Wow, you said $1,800 a month, $54 a month you have to make. Yep, because they got those income requirements. And you're right, they want to bankrupt you for control because they can. But I just wanted y'all to know it's bad. Now, this morning on Patreon Uncensored, we're going to go, I got so much video and audio, we're going to go through a couple things. One of them I can't wait to show y'all because it's so fucking funny, was when Trump is in the middle of a meeting and he just hops up, goes to the window, starts talking about some fucking ballroom, and then goes back and sit down. I told y'all yesterday, I think he did it because he had to fart. Or he had farted in that diaper and it was like a little bubble in there. It was a little bubble in the diaper, or a little bubble caught between his cheeks. So he got up to walk to the window to work that bubble out of there. And then he came and sat back down. That's what happened. That's what I'm just telling you my opinion on it. Because I've done it. I've done it. I don't wear no diaper. But I farted sitting down. And you're like, wait, I think that's a little trapped in my cheeks. And then you got to get up. So he got up and he walked to the window, said a couple of words, shaking his hands so he could move around and so his cheeks could jiggle and move that out. And then he went and sat back down. He know what he doing. I'm telling you, I just know because I've done that. Look, you 2 days. And I saw somebody ask, what's Patreon? Patreon is where I do an uncensored show after these shows. Because there are things we can't talk about on TikTok, things I can't show you. And frankly, that does a disservice to the conversation. Look, y'all telling me to stop because y'all can only imagine Trump trying to wiggle, to shake that little bubble out between his ass cheeks. He'd be like this. Why President rocking? That's why he be in them chairs like this sometimes you see him. Because it's a fart caught between them cheeks. And he don't want to stand up and wiggle his booty. So he rocked from side to side to force that air bubble through them cheeks. Boom. I'm telling you. The link is in my bio, Juan. Or in my profile, rather. That'll take you to my website that will give you all the links to everywhere I am. But I'm like, man. I don't feel no sorrow. Oh, that was the best when Marco Rubio had that face. Look, I'm going to show y'all something. Because I saw this shit the other day and I howled. I said, yeah, that's how Marco was sitting there. That's how Marco was looking when Trump read that note. He's like, okay, damn. That's why you don't pass notes to old people. Dummy. This is why you don't give old people shit. Because I've had grandparents, right? When my grandparents were still alive. And there was no concept of whispering or, grandma, I'm trying to be discreet. What? Chill. They don't believe in discretion. Marco was just sitting there like, damn, I was trying to be discreet, but you're a dummy. Not go Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. But I'm telling you, man, Marco is an embarrassment. Because what did I tell you before? Marco Rubio, let's think about the name, Hispanic name, trying to live as a white man. And Marco don't care that the government is snatching up people that look like him, come from where he come from, because he thinks he's one of the good ones. But I told y'all, I love that Cubans in Florida have gotten their comeuppance. And I hope that other Cubans in democratic states and cities get theirs too. I don't feel no sorrow. Fuck, I look like feeling sorrow for people who voted for the shit. They voted for that shit. That's what you get for trying to be white adjacent. You're not white. You're Hispanic. It's America. In America, the only people that can be white are white people. You know? I always find it funny that conservatives don't call Cubans out for pretending to be white, right? Because the same conservatives say they don't believe in trans women and trans men. You don't get to pick your gender. So how you get to pick your ethnicity? How do you get to pick your ethnicity? You shouldn't be able to pick that either. That's why I say the quiet part out loud. I don't give a fuck if they get offended. They should be offended. I'm not saying it for you to feel good. I'm saying it for you to feel a little like, damn, but then go, you know, we need to have that discussion. I'm telling you, the immigrant population in America needs to have a sit down, come to Jesus discussion about who they are. This is why I now agree with Trump, no more immigration. Say it again, Santana, transracial. I'm going to write that one down. I got to keep that one. Yeah, because Cubans are transracial. A lot of Asians that come here, they become transracial. You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute. Now you're white? When did that happen? Bitch, when I met you, you were speaking Vietnamese. When did you become white? Okay. But that's what they do. They move to America and I identify as white. I don't give a fuck how you identify. My eyes say you're not. Yeah, you can't stop people from seeing you, even if you identify as transracial. But they think, see, this is a deeper conversation that it has to happen at some point, right? The conversation has to happen about immigrants, not all, but a certain segment of immigrants that are also racist. That immigrate to America and their asses are fucking racist. This is why they only want to be in white spaces. That's why. Because they're fucking racist. Hell, some of them are even racist against their own fucking people here on American fucking soil. Because they think they better than them. I'm just telling you. That's a big part of the shit. And until that conversation happens, nothing changes still. It's a whole lot of conversations that have to happen if people want real change. And real change does not happen from acting like it's not happening. You're not going to get change like that. You're not going to get change like that. In order to get change, you actually have to have real conversations. And what I find is people don't want to have real conversations. Why? Because real conversations are uncomfortable. People don't want to talk about racism in America ain't just coming from white folk. People don't want to talk about that shit. But that's the truth. Racism in America don't just come from white people. It comes from a whole bunch of immigrants too. It comes from a whole bunch of immigrants that come here. And then they lay in bed with white supremacy. I feel like I got something on my eye. They lay in bed with white supremacy. Lose their identity. They some of the very first ones to be racist. Shit. I don't know what y'all talking about. They some of the first ones to be racist. Let one of their children bring home a person of color that they dating. Let that person be non-white. Shh. You know what y'all talking about? Like, y'all know I've been watching that 90 Day Fiance the other way, right? So I've been watching that lady she's from Florida and she married that guy. What's her name? Jessica. I forget her name. She married that guy, or Laura, I think that's her name, from Tanzania. That guy. Tunisia or wherever he's from. I forget where he's from. But they met in Qatar, right? Like he works in Qatar, but he's really from Tunisia, right? And she marrying this man. And this woman, 51 years old. 51. This man is 30-something years old. He want to have kids. That old bitch ain't having no kids. Sherry went through menopause. But you know why he want to have babies with her? She white. She white. That's what he's chasing. That's what he's chasing. He chasing that white baby. And I'm looking going, bro, I don't know math. This bitch is 51. She look older than 51. I turn 51 next week. That bitch look way older than me. Way older than me. Because life's been hard in that Florida sun. Because I was watching that shit yesterday. Can I just say, when her son looked at that man and said, I'm done with her and I'm done with you too, I howled. I said, her son said, if she have a baby with you, I'm done with her and I'm done with you too. I said, I like this boy. I like this boy. Because he looking at his old ass mama going, bitch, you shouldn't be having no babies. You shouldn't be having no babies. You were thinking about, maybe it was Danielle. Yeah, maybe it is Danielle and Mohammed. Because I'm still on season 1. I'm still on season 1. I think it is Danielle and Mohammed. Because isn't Danielle out of Florida? I just don't remember what the guy's name is. Maybe it's not Daniel and Muhammad. I don't remember what the guy's name was. But he's a personal trainer. Nice looking man. But I'm going to tell you, when I saw her and then I saw him, I said, at first I was like, why is he messing with her? Then I thought about it. Oh, she's white. He's chasing whiteness. Even his own family respects her, and they respect the relationship, which is crazy to me. Because if I was his mama and my 32-year-old son brought home a 51-year-old woman, oh, bitch, we about to move some furniture up in there. Fuck is you doing with my child? You 51 the fuck years old. You old enough to be his mama. Like, bitch, what are y'all doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, what? So that's why I know his family, because she's white, they accept the shit. If she was black or any other ethnicity, they would have accepted the shit. But they don't mind him blending his DNA with that old ass white woman. Yep, they want to lighten up their bloodline. Say it again. Say it again. See, I caught it when I was watching this shit. I said, these motherfuckers are racist too. Now, as I'm wrapping up, I do want to say one last thing about 90 Day Fiancé the other way. Because my suspicions, all this time I've been having suspicions. And I was right. That damn Evelyn out of Ecuador, who don't want to get married. But she know damn well that boyfriend of hers cannot stay in Ecuador if she don't marry him. That bitch is getting money. All she date Western men for is to get money. That's it. She don't have no desire to come out of Ecuador. And she ain't trying to get married, so they can't stay. She getting money. She got $40,000 of that fucking man's money. And now she's saying she don't want to get married. Bitch, what? That's just me moving this around. She hustling. And what I don't understand from American men is, if you want a woman to just take your money and treat you like shit, you didn't have to travel out of the country for that. You could have gotten American women to do that. Like, why didn't you just get an American woman? Because now your dumb ass is traveling back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like what? And you know what else it made me go? Evelyn must have the ill nana. She must have the ill nana. Her and the chick out of Brazil that just had the baby with the chick that had the baby by the guy. When he came back, bruh had a bullet, had a vest on. Cause I said, man, men will do anything for the twatto, yo. Anything. Traveling to another country and you gotta wear a vest. A vest. You traveling on a bus for 2 days in the rural portions of a country. Sis got the ill nana. That's all I could think. She gave him the guac 10,000. Gave him the guac 10,000. They done gave up their whole life savings, sold all their shit. I'm like, who are these people? And where can I meet them so I can just take your money? Because if you're going to just give away your money, come be my friend. I'll take your money. The only difference between me taking your money and them taking your money is I'm going to be honest and tell you I don't love you. But I'm going to expect you to still give me your money. Because it's not like you love you. You keep letting people take advantage of your ass. You don't love you either. But I'm like, man, I'm telling y'all. Watching this show, I'm sitting there and I'm just going, this can't be real, but it's real. It's real. I'm just like, yep, yes, y'all. Listen, I am convinced that Brazilian girl, she put it on this man. Do you understand? Listen, bro had a TV in his suitcase. He had a TV in his fucking suitcase, bruh. A TV. She said, bring me a TV too. The motherfucker brought a TV in his motherfucker suitcase, knowing he could get robbed. Bruh. I'm telling you, I watched this show and I'm like, these guys are suckers. The women are suckers falling for it and the men are suckers falling for it. Like I told you about the white lady that married that guy from Tunisia. She's not even being satisfied in the bedroom and she still married that man. He don't even eat the box and she still married that man. Listen, if she was going to marry a man that wouldn't satisfy her in the bedroom or eat the box, she could have married an American man for that. She could have married an American man for that. I'm trying to figure out, like, why? And you say, I don't know if he was cheating, but I do know this. He did tell her, he had her meet with, remember when they met with that other man, his boss, and the boss said, we can have multiple wives here? And she got in her feelings a little bit. It's like, bitch, it's just a matter of time. Bitch, you the old wife. You're the old wife, bitch. You're going to be taking care of the young wives as babies. Now, 9 times out of 10, she'll be treated the best because she white. But she better accept she gonna have to share that man. But quiet as kept, that man don't look good enough to be bad in the bedroom and still get married. What? Oh, she go through his phone. Oh, child, I can't wait to get to season 2. I can't wait. I can't wait. I love that shit. 90 Day Fiancé the other way is the TV I didn't know I needed, y'all. I'm going to tell you a couple of shows I watched. 90 Day Fiancé the other way. Sister Wives. Ooh, I love to hate Sister Wives. I watched that shit. And Seeking Sister Wife. Ooh, Seeking Sister Wife is a train wreck that you can't look away from. There is nothing like watching a couple think that they want a sister wife. Only for the wife to start getting jealous when the husband start dating another woman. Man, the shit is hilarious. It's the best shit ever. Sister Wives is hilarious, but this season, fuck Cody Brown. Cody is still on his manipulation bullshit. I gotta do a video about that. I can't stand that motherfucker. Him and fucking Robin, meant to be together. Can't stand them. Can't stand them, because Robin is always crying. Well, bitch, shut up. And I hate the fact that she has tatted eyebrows. Her eyebrows are too dark for everything else that's happening. It just looks like two sticky pieces of tape up here that move every time she cries or does something else. I can't stand her ass. That bitch came into that family because she had 2 or 3 kids from another marriage that imploded, because she came from plural marriage that imploded, and she needed a man and a family to take care of her fucking kids. And that's exactly what the Browns did. Then she then she snitched on Mary and told when Mary was having that affair, and that was not her business to tell. But she did it because she wanted to be the favorite wife. And ever since she did it, Cody then gives Robin favor. That's why Cody says Robin is loyal. That's why he said, in my opinion, he says she's loyal because she sold out all them other bitches for Cody. And it's all fun and games until Cody sell her old ass out. Watch, her day coming, because she ain't the young bitch no more on the block. She not the young hot wife no more. Watch, her day coming. Now, let me stop. Look, because we got to get to our show on Patreon. It's almost 11:30. Listen, I love you guys. Get on over to Patreon because we're about to do this show, because I also got some information about the Epstein stuff. Oh, yeah. I got some I can't talk about it on TikTok because it's kind of explicit, but to tell y'all about some stuff that one of the victims shared about a baby. Bruh. And I'm going to connect it with something that Trump said about babies before. And it made me go, he did say that. The fuck? Yeah, I think it was a part of an interview, Valerie. So you saw that? Awesome. So y'all need to get on the phone with y'all elected officials today. Email them today. I done told you what they're talking about today on the Hill. Why your elected officials are spending time debating about putting a flagpole up in a park for 10 years, that's a waste of your fucking money. Let them know. Okay? I appreciate y'all being here. I'll be back on live this afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, next Wednesday, the new episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast, season 2, will be here. Can't wait for that. Okay? I thank y'all so much for being with me this morning. If you want to continue to be a part of the Uncensored Show, click the link in my profile and come on over to Patreon. I love you all. Listen, thank you for the 82,000 likes. Thank you for the over 200 shares. And before we wrap up, I'm going to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters because I try to do this every live. Number 1, user 1051. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. Number 2, Skeeta. That baby is adorable in that avatar. I love little babies. They smell so good. Number 3, Chris Rightmare. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 4, handsome Russ Nelson. Thank you so much, handsome. Number 5, Miss Beautiful Shauna B. Thank you so much, beautiful. And a special shout out to number 6, handsome Kiera. Thank you so much, Kiera. I appreciate y'all being here with me this morning. I will be back this afternoon live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, I want to tell y'all something. Y'all better have a good day on purpose today, and you better contact your elected officials. As long as you stay silent, they stay doing messy shit. And if you are a veteran on disability, your disability at stake too. Oh, it's coming. They're going to change the definitions and classifications and calculations, okay? Stay focused. Don't let nobody live rent free in your head, folks. Don't feed any trolls. And you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, everybody, and I'll see you on Patreon in just a second. Have a beautiful and blessed day.